and welcome to Kashmir Now. I'm your host Uzma Jafri. Let's take a look at some stories of this week's episode. Activists say Pakistan's decision to make Gilgit-Baltistan its provisional province is illegal and unconstitutional. Engineers demonstrate in illegally occupied POK, demand technical allowance. Advanced Research Station in Pulwama's Pampore area playing a vital role in saffron cultivation. Newly established dialysis unit in Poonch proving to be a great comfort for the locals. And later we will take you to Bhubaneswar to witness the age-old tradition of terracotta art in our special edition of Incredible India. For the last 7 decades, Pakistan has spared no effort in strengthening its illegal control over the territory of Gilgit-Baltistan, either by changing the demography of the region or by bringing into effect the GB Order 2018 or controlling its local politics with an iron fist. Pakistan has remained undeterred in executing its nefarious plans. But this time, Pakistan has crossed all limits with its announcement to make Gilgit-Baltistan as its 5th province, for which it has received huge backlash from the activists who have termed it both illegal and unconstitutional. We have a report.
Even after being aware of this fact that both its government and judiciary have no locus standi on the territories forcibly occupied by it, Pakistan has never shied away from its efforts to establish its control over them. Presently, it is moving ahead with its fallacious plan to make illegally occupied Gilgit-Baltistan its 5th province. Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan announced this during his recent visit to the region. His declaration has drawn massive condemnation from across the spectrum. Activists have slammed Imran Khan for making such a statement even after being aware of this fact that Pakistan's constitution does not recognize Gilgit-Baltistan as its part.
पाकिस्तान का हिस्सा नहीं है हम उनके अपने कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन के तहत कोई भी बंदा हुआ वो प्राइम मिनिस्टर साहब हों इलेक्टेड हों या सिलेक्टेड हों आर्मी चीफ हों अपोजिशन लीडर हों यानी पाकिस्तान का कोई जी शहूर लीडर जिसको थोड़ा सा भी सर हो और वो इन चीजों के बारे में जानता हो तो वो कम अज कम कहीं भी जाके ये ऐलान नहीं कर सकता कि मैंने सुबह बना दिया है क्योंकि उनके पास ना तो कोई आईनी हक था ना कोई कानूनी जवाब था और ना कोई इखलाकी कदरों का जवाब था कि जिसके बिना पर उन्होंने जाके ऑर्डर कर दिया यानी इसको अगर सूबा बनना है तब भी गिलगित-बाल्तिस्तान के लोगों ने फैसला करना है सूबा नहीं बनना है तब भी गिलगित-बाल्तिस्तान के लोगों ने फैसला करना मैंने फैसला करना है ना इमरान खान साहब से किसी ने पूछना है
Even after calling it a disputed territory at international platforms, Pakistan has continuously kept on making special effects in Gilgit-Baltistan to ensure that it remains under its control. In 1984, it abolished the state subject rule in Gilgit-Baltistan, which resulted in demographic changes in the territory as people from different parts of Pakistan are free to purchase land there. Reflecting on Pakistan's hypocrisy, activists say that though Pakistan's constitution has given the people of its illegally occupied territories the authority to decide when they want to accede to Pakistan, but it hasn't given them the choice to not to be part of it.
उसका आर्टिकल क्या कहता है 257, when the people of state of Jammu and Kashmir decide to accede with to Pakistan, the relationship between Pakistan and state of Jammu and Kashmir shall be determined in accordance with the wishes of the people of the state of Jammu and Kashmir. अब इसका पहला लफ्ज ही मेरे लिए काबिल एतराज है, यानी when, यानी उन्होंने अपने दिमाग में अज्यूम कर लिया, जिसने भी आर्टिकल लिखा या जिसने इस आर्टिकल पास किया, कि भाई इन्होंने जाना कहीं और नहीं है, लेकिन यहाँ लफ्ज होना चाहिए तो इफ, अगर पाकिस्तान के साथ अलाक होता है तो पहले सबसे बड़ी बीमारी तो असल में यहाँ पैदा हो जाती है, इसी में ही।
Even though the Maharaja of Jammu and Kashmir had signed an instrument of accession on 26 October 1947 declaring his state's formal merger with India, but Pakistan never vacated the region it had occupied. And now, by altering the status of Gilgit-Baltistan, it has proved this brutal fact that it is least concerned about the region's people and their rights.
Be it providing basic amenities to its people or fulfilling their rightful demands, the government of illegally occupied POK, which works in cahoots with Islamabad, has always lagged behind. It is only concerned with filling its own coffers rather than doing something for the betterment of its people. As a result, time and again, people have to come on the streets to demand their rights. Recently, the engineers in the region demonstrated across Muzaffarabad city to demand technical allowance. Have a look.
A large number of engineers carried out a peaceful rally in Muzaffarabad town of illegally occupied POK to demand the technical allowance, which they say is being deliberately denied to them by the administration. They also issued an ultimatum saying that the intensity of their demonstrations would increase if government didn't pay any immediate heed to their demands. Engineers say that even though the government has acknowledged their demands, but still no notification has been issued on the same.
इंजीनियर कम्युनिटी अपने तमाम दफातर तमाम प्रोजेक्ट्स को बंद करके यहाँ आए हुए हैं और मैं समझता हूँ ये हुकूमत की नाकामी होगी कि अगर इंजीनियर्स ने अपना काम छोड़ दिया, अपने प्रोजेक्ट पे काम करना छोड़ दिया, अपने ऑफिसर्स को छोड़ दिया, तो मैं समझता हूँ ये हुकूमत का पिया रुक जाएगा, ये उनकी जो तामीर तरक्की होगी ये मुकम्मल नहीं हो सकेगी। और इस वक्त मौजूदा जो हुक्मरान यहाँ पे इस वक्त हुकूमत कर रहे हैं, उन्होंने हमारे जायज़ मुतालबे को तस्लीम किया हुआ है। अब सिर्फ क्या है कि उसकी दुम बाकी है, उसका नोटिफिकेशन होना बाकी है।
Pakistan, which claims the region of its own, has given similar allowances to engineers in its provinces, but has turned a blind eye to the demands of these men. All they are asking is 1.5% technical allowance of their salary as per 2017 pay scale, but POK government that works in cahoots with Islamabad doesn't seem to pay any heed.
जो आवाम को रोशनी देते हैं ये वो है जो आवाम को घर घर पानी देते हैं। और आज ये बेयार और मददगार प्यासे और अंधेरी गली में यहाँ पर खड़े हैं, ये हमारे लिए और ये सारे अरबाब इख्तियार के लिए एक लम्हा फिक्रिया है कि क्या ये लोग इस काबिल हैं कि यहाँ पर आके ताओबट से लेके भिम्बर से लेके ये यहाँ पर आके खड़े अपने बुनियादी हक के लिए।
पिछले जून में यहाँ तपती धूप में सारे यंग डॉक्टर यहाँ धूप में तपतपाती धूप में खड़े थे और इसी तरीके से जैसे आप एहतजाज कर रहे हैं ऐसे वो भी एहतजाज कर रहे थे। और आज इंजीनियर वो इंजीनियर जिन्होंने ये रोड बनाई हैं, आज उसी रोड पे सरापा एहतजाज हैं। ये मुकाम अफसोस हम सब के लिए।
It is not just about the engineers. Pakistan has systematically denied benefits, rights and resources to the people of this illegally occupied territory for more than 7 decades. Demands and dissents have been suppressed using excessive force, and in some cases, even a legislative route has been used to keep them marginalized and deprived.
Next, we move to Jammu and Kashmir, where authorities are all set to improve the quality as well as the quantity of saffron produced in Kashmir with the help of high-tech advanced research station in Pampore area of Pulwama. By bringing in new technologies, the centre is trying its level best to help Kashmiri saffron acquire more prominence in the export market, further bringing huge profits to the growers.
One of the oldest commodities of the Union Territory, Kashmiri saffron is famous around the world for its superior quality and high medicinal value. Grown at an altitude of 1600 meters, it's mostly produced in the districts of Pulwama, Kishtwar, Budgam and Srinagar, providing livelihood to many. Playing a vital role in boosting its cultivation is the Advanced Research Station for Saffron and Seed Spices in the Pampore area of Pulwama district. Established few years back on an experimental basis by Sher-e-Kashmir University of Agricultural Sciences and Technology, or SCUAST, under the National Saffron Mission, the research centre is equipped with all the modern facilities and is working consistently towards improving both the quality as well as quantity of saffron.
ये इंस्टीट्यूट जो हमारा है, ये हमारा रिसर्च और एक्सटेंशन पे बेस्ड है। हम यहाँ पे जो भी नई नई टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलप कर रहे हैं टू इम्प्रूव द सैफरान यील्ड एज वेल एज द क्वालिटी, और जो भी इसमें इनपुट चाहिए, जो भी कोई इनपुट चाहिए इसमें, चाहे पानी चाहिए, चाहे खाद चाहिए या कोई और इनपुट चाहिए, उसका मकदार, उसका टाइम और क्वांटिटी सब कुछ उस पर रिसर्च यहाँ पे ये चल रही है हमारी, और उसी का फिर हम एक्सटेंशन करते हैं विद इन कोलैबोरेशन विद द डेवलपमेंट डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ एग्रीकल्चर।
From irrigation to fertilizers, the research center has provided all kind of assistance to saffron growers who too are equally cooperating to boost their cultivation. Earlier, they were involved in traditional farming, but now they are adapting the latest technologies with center's guidance. The high-tech dripping system, imported seeds have also been provided to farmers by the research center to enable them to produce high-quality saffron. This will further increase its export and help farmers to get the best remunerative price.
पहले हम जो हमारा था वो हम ट्रेडिशनल करते थे पुराने तरीके से, इन्होंने नए तरीके सिखाए और उसी तरीके से हमने तकरीबन ये जो सारा सैफरान एरिया है हर एक फार्मर यहाँ से मुस्तफ़ीद हुआ है, और यहाँ पर जो नई टेक्नोलॉजी है वो अडाप्ट हर एक किसान ने की है। मसलन जो सीड ट्रीटमेंट कैसे किया जाता है या सोइंग हम जो करते हैं हम किस तरीके से करेंगे, तो हर एक फार्मर यहाँ से मुस्तफ़ीद हुआ है, उसने नई टेक्नोलॉजी सीखी है। मसलन अभी और भी इन्होंने एडवांस फर्दर टेक्नोलॉजी इन्होंने अडाप्ट की है, अभी वो भी किसान ले लेगा यहाँ से, तो इनका अहम रोल है यहाँ सैफरान के लिए, उनका अहम रोल है।
Kashmir is well known as the Valley of Flowers. Among several varieties of flowers grown here, saffron is of utmost cultural and economic importance. Around 5,700 acres of land is under saffron cultivation in the Kashmir Valley, and about 32,000 farmers are directly associated with its production. In the year 2019-20, the valley recorded an average production of 4.7 kilograms saffron per hectare. In order to give thrust to saffron production in Jammu and Kashmir, SQUAST, in collaboration with Agriculture Department, is assuring every possible support and technical exposure to growers, and this research center in Pampore is one such initiative in the row.
यहाँ का रिसर्च सेंटर जो ये मैं पहले भी कह चुका हूँ, उन्होंने काफ़ी मेहनत की इसमें, और ग्रोवरों के साथ भी उन्हें कोऑपरेट किया, ग्रोवरों ने भी कोऑपरेट किया उनके साथ। ये इसको कल्टीवेट कैसे करना है, इसमें दवाई कौन सी डालनी है, ये ज़मीन कितनी बार इसमें कल्टीवेट करना है, खोदना है, तभी तो ये ग्रोवर जान चुका है इनसे।
Be it increasing the saffron cultivation or promoting its trade through e-auction portal, the authorities in the Union Territory are leaving no stone unturned in creating better livelihood opportunities for growers.
Health and education are the two most important sectors fundamental to the growth and development of any society or region. Taking this into consideration, authorities in Jammu and Kashmir keep on taking a number of steps to address health issues and provide the best of medical infrastructure to its people. One such initiative taken was the establishment of a dialysis unit in Poonch, which, especially in these times of pandemic, is turning out to be a lifesaver for patients suffering from kidney disorders in the district. Have a look.
A strong healthcare system ensures a physically and mentally stronger workforce, making it an important component in nation's progress. Moving on the same lines, the authorities in Jammu and Kashmir made sure to provide all possible healthcare facilities to its citizens. A dialysis unit established in Poonch district under the central government's initiative that aims to establish a dialysis unit at every district hospital in the territory is one such facility that has proved to be a great comfort for patients, especially in these times of pandemic.
पहले स्टार्टिंग में तो हमारे पास बड़े कम केसेस थे, लेकिन आस्ता आस्ता जब हम लोगों ने अवेयरनेस दी तो यहाँ पे हमारे पास काफ़ी जो है वो केसेस आना स्टार्ट हो गए। और जो पहले रजौरी जाते थे, श्रीनगर जाते थे या जम्मू जाते थे, तो उनका भी डायलिसिस हम लोगों ने यहाँ पे करना स्टार्ट कर दिया। तो उसके बाद ऐसा था कि इसमें जो हमारे बीच में आपको पता ही है कि जो कोविड-19 का ये जो पैंडेमिक आ गया यहाँ पे, उसके दौरान फिर बड़ा मतलब प्रिकॉशंस वगैरह लेने के बावजूद तब भी हम लोगों ने यहाँ पे अच्छे तरीके से जो डायलिसिस की जो सर्विसेज है लोगों तक पहुंचाने की पूरी कोशिश की हमने।
Dialysis is a treatment that filters blood through machine when kidneys in human beings fail to function. Earlier, patients suffering from kidney disorders in Poonch district had to travel all the way to other districts like Jammu and Riyasi for getting their dialysis done, which was troublesome for them. But now, after the establishment of this unit, citizens can now get treated at the district hospital, which saves their energy, money, time, but most importantly, their lives.
2.5 साल कंटिन्यूसली मैंने वहीं डायलिसिस करवाया अपने फादर का। तो ये गवर्नमेंट के थ्रू जो स्कीम चली थी यहाँ डायलिसिस यूनिट हर डिस्ट्रिक्ट हॉस्पिटल में देने की, तो मैं बड़ा थैंकफुल हूँ गवर्नमेंट का कि जो ये स्कीम चली है यहाँ भी हर डिस्ट्रिक्ट में चली है, पुंछ में भी चली है। और मैं यहाँ करवा रहा हूँ फादर का अब डायलिसिस लगभग बिफोर लॉकडाउन से मैं अब घर आ गया हूँ अपने और यहीं करवा रहा हूँ। इस वजह से ये हुआ है, मुझे ये बेनिफिट मिला है कि जितना मेरा एक्सेस में खर्चा हो रहा था और मैं बार बार सफ़र कर रहा था इस चीज़ को लेके, उससे थोड़ी राहत मिली है।
In Jammu and Kashmir, several initiatives have been taken to give boost to the medical sector. AIIMS, that is All India Institute of Medical Sciences, have been sanctioned by the central government for the Union Territory. Along with this, 7 new medical colleges have also been sanctioned. Jammu and Kashmir Health Scheme was also launched to provide health coverage to the residents of the territory. It is through such initiatives that the medical infrastructure of Jammu and Kashmir is improving day by day, and citizens are able to avail best of facilities, that too at their nearest.
India has been a land of interesting traditions and an artistic way of life. The people of the country are grounded to their indigenous produce and local arts and crafts. Giving you a glimpse of it, today in our section of Incredible India, we take you to the annual terracotta exhibition organized in the Bhubaneswar city of Odisha, where artisans across the state showcased their artwork and celebrated their love for craft.
Stalls decked up with magnificent terracotta handicrafts drew a number of visitors to the week-long annual terracotta exhibition Mritika in Bhubaneswar. Organized by the Directorate of Handicrafts and Cottage Industries, over 157 terracotta artisans displayed their products in around 100 stalls that were provided to them for free. This year, it was the 15th edition of the exhibition that saw artisans from more than 20 districts of the state. Held amid the pandemic situation, visitors along with artisans were asked to maintain social distancing and follow the other COVID-19 SOPs during the event.
हर साल भुवनेश्वर में मूर्तिका उड़ीसा से आते हैं कारीगर लोग। यहाँ एक पूरा बड़ा सा मेला होता है, इसमें सब कारीगर साल भर का सामान जितना भी बना कर रखते हैं सारा बिक जाता है।
Organized since 2006, this exclusive art exhibition aims to provide a platform for the marketing of products of the clusters of terracotta and individual artisans. It also helps them to strengthen their market position, along with providing an opportunity to visitors to meet the faces behind these meticulously made products. Moreover, with such amazing handicrafts available at feasible rates, customers are spoilt for choice.
This is a very old place where you see a lot of exhibitions happening, but this time because of COVID, there has been a delay, but I think it's good that they are coming up with this and doing it, because we will also have to understand that if we don't buy from here, probably these people will not have a livelihood. And I think the collection is very good this time, and a lot of social distancing is being maintained. You can see the circles around. You need to probably stand in the circles. So I think it's not a crowded place. It's a good place to shop and also help the small businessmen in terms of helping them in COVID. And I think everybody should come here and buy from here. Whatever I have seen so far, prices are really good. I see things from 20 rupees to 40 rupees to 70 rupees, and I think the kind of variety I'm seeing this time, it is really good, and I think the prices are also tremendously low as compared to the market.
Terracotta and pottery is one of the approved crafts of Odisha, mostly practiced by the traditional kumbhakars and trained youths almost in every district. There are more than 10,000 terracotta artisans in the state who are producing traditional, decorative and utility terracotta-based items. Along with this, 3 terracotta artisans from Odisha have been conferred with national level awards and 18 terracotta artisans have been awarded state level awards. Moreover, with such exhibitions organized from time to time, help artisans to exhibit their craftsmanship and earn profits. And in these times of pandemic, when they were unable to sell their products, this terracotta exhibition was no less than a boon for them.
इन लोग का तो 6-7 महीना बढ़ गया था घर में, प्रोडक्ट का बना लिया लेकिन बेच नहीं पाए थे, बहुत तकलीफ में थे। ये उनको अच्छा एक अपॉर्चुनिटी प्लेटफॉर्म मिल गया सेलिंग करने के लिए।
Odisha has immensely rich craft tradition with magnificent craftsmanship. As many as 50 different crafts have been approved by the government of Odisha, practiced by more than 1.3 lakh artisans in varied degrees and are dispersed throughout the state. The Handlooms, Textiles and Handicrafts Department of the state too keeps on providing promotional supports for growth of the handicrafts sector, including market assistance by organizing exhibitions.
So that's all we have for you in this week's episode. Till we see you next week, it's goodbye from our entire production team.